Hello, freak bitches.
How did you get the Alex Jones one to be 9/11, 9/11?
I had to plan it out.
So-
I had
but that
to fit some podcasts in. I had to do like extra ones the week before just so I could get to number 9/11 with Alex.
Yeah, that sounds like a long seat. That's
Well,
a
I could have
process,
had him
man.
on earlier, and I would have definitely had him on again for 9/11, but
Right.
having him on the first time for 9/11. And to this day, that's our biggest podcast by
Really?
far.
That was
Wow.
crazy.
By maybe 5 million downloads.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, but here's the conspiracy, right? Is that right? Am I saying correctly? What is the actual number?
It was like probably at 16 now. I didn't check in the last 2 or 3 days, but
Okay, so it's 16 million down. Here's what's crazy. It never charted on iTunes. The iTunes charts magically went down while the Alex Jones podcast was in the queue, and they stayed down for over a week. Conspiracy theory. And then when it came back up, podcasts that got way less downloads than Alex's were rated much higher than his. And they had happened before and after his.
I do remember
like
this.
his was the only
Yeah.
podcast that was left out of the ratings loop. Like for sure it would have been the number one podcast in the country. It was the number one podcast we did by a mile. And I've
Wow.
had the number one podcast before. It's like the number one podcast episode. That was more than 5 million downloads more than any other podcast I had before.
It's crazy.
So it for sure probably would have been number one if it
It's a
wasn't.
lot of downloads.
Unless they had like one of those serial episodes or something that came out that week.
Ooh, S-Town.
So there you go. And it's very likely that someone's trying to hold Alex Jones back.
and that just stokes his fucking fire.
They don't understand. It's the Streisand
Crazy.
effect. Can't stoke the
Oh,
fire
no.
of Alex Jones. Even Megyn Kelly's fucked now. Her show's going down the toilet.
Is it?
'Cause they
What
caught her-
happened in the aftermath?
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Megyn Kelly was a Fox News person.
Mm-hmm.
She left Fox News to go to NBC. NBC is thought of as CNBC, which is thought of as fake news by these right-wing Trumpians. What would you call them? Trumpers.
Okay.
So as soon as she goes over there, they're not going to listen to her. And then to the liberals, she's Fox News.
Right.
So they're not interested in her either. And then she does this podcast with Alex Jones, or this interview rather with Alex Jones. And in the interview with Alex Jones, she says, I'm not going to paint you out as a monster. I'm going to give you a fair... Like she's saying all these things like she's going to throw softballs this way. I want people to get to know you. And he releases all that. And he's like, hey, this is that person. And then the ratings just keep plummeting. If you want to be an ice princess, you got to
Gotta
be
go
on Fox News.
Full ice.
If you want to sell guns, you want to be a Second Amendment proponent with
I
fucking
don't.
cold blue steel eyes and smooth, shiny legs and nice shoes and tiny skirts, you got to be on Fox News.
How do you get smooth, shiny
Stay
legs?
in your
Shave
lane.
them. You got to shave them down
Really?
constantly, all day long.
Fuck.
Yeah, you have
Can't
these.
just wear pants?
Probably oil them up too.
Yeah, you have illegal immigrants.
How do you
just
do it,
waiting.
Ben?
It's just kind of a natural thing for me.
Oh, really? You're hairless in the legs and the
Oh,
limbs?
Somebody's
Yeah.
got to be like that, right?
I
There's got to be somebody out there with no leg hair.
I'm sure it happens. It's called...
purity. Is that what it's called?
Sure is, Ben. It's
Yes,
funny you
yes.
brought it up.